Something deep down inside knows that this is a bad idea. Hello, and welcome to week 3 of Dish teaching herself digital art in 1 year. I really hate talking about myself in third person, but whatever. If you're new to my channel or you're new to this series, welcome. The first week, I learned about shape. Second week, I learned about color theory. And this week, for some reason, I've decided to jump ahead. I want to learn anatomy because the thing I want to draw most in the world is people. So I'm going to dive in head first, do my best. I'm going to watch a bunch of videos and resources, and I will condense them down for you. As always, you can find all of the videos and resources that I used in the description, and then you will watch my practice. Hopefully by the end of this week, I will have a better baseline of knowledge that I can carry with me as I continue to learn these principles that are way too hard for my pea brain to understand. And hopefully you will learn something as well. Let's get to learning. The first video I watched about anatomy was from Proko, and it was basically an introduction to a long-term class about anatomy, like every muscle, every tendon, how it all links together and how it moves. And I got a bit overwhelmed by that, although he did make some really good points about why you should study anatomy. He said that no part of the body should be a mystery to you, because if it's not, then you don't have to be a slave to your reference. If you know how the joint moves, you can actually adjust the arm position from your reference photo and you can make it your own. Knowing anatomy also helps you create a believable body, even if you're not drawing like to scale realistic, even if you're drawing chibi or a non-human figure. Having a basic understanding of how the body works is going to make those look real and believable. He also pointed out that the skeleton is really important because it's consistent pretty much between one body to another, and it also controls the joints, which controls motion and the shape of the body. So from this video, I went to a video by Ergo Josh, which was a really simple version of baseline knowledge of anatomy. He pointed out that it's really important to understand the hands and the face because those are how we typically show expression, and the areas with the most joints are the most important. So that would be the upper body, thoracic area, and then the hips, because those both have 3 joints connected. So from here, I pretty much just sketched and I drew as many figures as I could find. I felt pretty good about this first set of drawings. I don't know how these lips look so good and realistic, but you know what, we won't question it. I'm just gonna take my W and walk away. Hands are something that I feel are really beautiful, and I want to keep working on it. They're also really hard. See, it's gonna take some time for sure. I haven't drawn any male figures. I get a bit uncomfortable looking at male anatomy, but I'm gonna have to get over that. And like female body is just more familiar to me, so I find it easier to draw, but I gotta learn everything, so I will start working on that from this point forward. The only thing I really tried to draw this week outside of my self-portrait was this picture of Neko. I honestly gave, at least at the time that I'm recording this, I gave up on this. I'm looking at this and I can see where I've improved, but I also just I don't feel good about this in general. Clothing is really hard, I've discovered, especially if there's patterns on the clothing. And I think I just honestly, partially I just didn't have the patience to really make this look how I wanted it to look. And I made a couple errors on layers, and that kind of took the wind out of my sails. So maybe I will come back to this piece, but I don't know. The skirt did end up looking pretty nice, but this has been a busy week. It's one of those weeks where I've had almost no time to do anything outside of what I absolutely have to do, and then turning into a vegetable in between those tasks. It's Friday morning. I have not practiced very much at all. I've been trying to squeeze in as many anatomy sessions as possible. I've been using Quick Poses, which, if you don't know, is a great website. It will show you poses for a short interval of time, so you can sketch it and then it'll switch to the next one. And it's supposed to help you get down anatomy quickly. I've been getting in as much time as I can, and I had a bit of an epiphany about it last night. I was talking to my dad last night about learning. He is teaching himself to surf this summer, and he told me that his plan is to surf every single day, no matter what, no matter the conditions. And he was saying, if I give myself the ability to find a way out of it, I won't do it. My hindrance for so long has been I don't know where to start and I don't know how to learn. Even in this process, even though it's only been like 3 weeks, I've been worried that maybe I'm learning the wrong thing at the wrong time. Am I watching the right resources? Am I watching the right videos? Like, is this practice actually helping me? And I realized that it was actually pretty counterintuitive to even be thinking like that, because regardless of what I'm doing, even if it's not like the best prescribed method of like first you learn this and then you learn this, and then no matter what I'm working on, if I'm drawing, it's helping. There's not really going to be any wasted time. Let me not get so caught up in the worry of, am I doing it right? Let me just make sure that I'm doing it. That's the whole point of me giving myself a year to do this. I will progress in a year. I've already progressed in 3 weeks, so that's not up for debate. I will become an artist of some kind after a year. And the only thing that's gonna stop me from doing that is lack of practice and lack of trying. So I'm not gonna get discouraged about this week. I'm just gonna keep moving. Bottom line, practice makes better, right? So I didn't master anatomy in a week. No surprise there, I didn't expect to, but I sure know a lot more than I did when I started. Learning something difficult requires failure. Seeing your failures as progress is gonna help you trust the process. 3 weeks ago, I got my iPad, and I was so excited to draw. This is about all I could produce. If you had told me then that I would have been able to draw a portrait that looked like this 3 weeks from now, I would be so encouraged. So, just as always, I'm gonna keep going. I know this video is shorter than the first two. This week was incredibly busy, and I wanted to get this out as soon as possible. And I also want to be true to the process, so as much as I want to take another week and refine this video, it would be better to spend that time actually drawing. So I'll see you next week. This week I'm learning shading, which is definitely something I feel is lacking. Please join my Twitch streams if you'd like to hang out live while we draw and watch weird conspiracy and lore videos, and good luck on whatever you're working on. See you next week.